right. Here we go. Not too bad. Good evening. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad to be back. It's been a long week. So, actually, hold on a second. I got to kill my volume on my phone. All right, hold on one second, guys. Just bear with me. All right. There we go. All right. So, welcome, welcome. I'm glad everybody's here. Again, it has been a long week not being online, and I'm going to address that in a minute, and we'll get into all of that. But um, we are. I'm in an undisclosed location. I'm not going to tell you guys where I'm at right at the moment, but I'm obviously in a hotel room, as you can see. I will be staying at a friend of mine's place tomorrow, and then I will be heading back home to New York on Sunday. And so Sunday, I will be live streaming from home. Now, I set that up already. And the reason that I did that is because where I'm going tomorrow, they have no internet access. I will not even have phone access. So there's like no signal whatsoever. Okay. So just letting you guys know ahead of time. But I already have videos set up to go up for tomorrow at 3 and also at 7. And then I have the video for the 3 o'clock on Sunday set to go up as well. So there will be videos going up. You won't be seeing me replying to any of them because I will be where you cannot, I can't, I won't even be able to check anything. Okay. So, but when I get back home Sunday, I'll obviously go through and check things out. But all right. So, I want to address it. Well, first, before we get started, I just want to remind everybody that this is a very family-friendly oriented channel. I will, ask you to please be decent in the chat with each other. No racism, no nastiness. Just be kind to each other. If you cannot abide by those simple rules, the people that you see lit up in blue, they're going to boot you out of here because we're just not going to tolerate any of that at all. Okay, so just putting that out there ahead of time so that everybody knows. All right. Um, and so, all right. So I want to address, first of all, what happened, why I got a strike. And, I'm not going to go into great details, obviously, but I will explain to you a little bit with what I can. I don't want, obviously, any more issues with YouTube. I honestly believe in my opinion, which is I say that a lot, don't you? You guys hear me say in my opinion quite a bit. Yes. So in my opinion, I think that it was a bogus strike. I had voiced my opinion on the presidential election. Okay. People ask your opinion all the time. What do you think? So I said what I thought. YouTube decided that in their intimate wisdom that I was spreading misinformation. And I don't know how your opinion of something is spreading. No, it wasn't an old video. The video that I did, remember the recent video I did where it was dark and I was talking in the dark? That was the one. Okay. So, because I spoke my opinion, YouTube said I was spreading misinformation, which I think is complete bullcrap because I was not calling for insurrection. I was not calling for people to rise up and reinstate anybody to anything. I was basically giving my opinion of what I thought of the situation. And so I was given a strike for that. And I did appeal it. And they got back to me and said, no, we're not giving it back to you. You're going to be, having that strike for the week. So what does that mean when you get a strike? And so for those of you that don't know, when you get a strike, you cannot post videos or live stream for a week. That strike stays on your channel for 90 days. After 90 days, the strike comes off. Now, you get an initial warning first. The warning never comes off. I don't know why the warning doesn't come off, but the warning does not come off. That stays on there. But when you get that strike, it's there for 90 days. And if you get a second strike within that 90-day period, then it's a 2-week hiatus. Okay. And so obviously, I had gotten a strike before. Anybody that watches the channel knows because I was talking about something else that has been going on in this country. And again, basing things on my opinion, which is amazing how that you would be censored so much for giving your opinion on a situation. So we do not live in a free country if you think that we do. And if you go against what is the accepted, I'm trying to think of the right wording to say this. If you go against the accepted mantra, I'll just put it like that. Whatever they decide the acceptable mantra is, if you go against that, then you're wrong and you're going to be punished. And so that's what happens. So that's what happened to me. That's why I've been gone for a week. There's three channels I want to give a quick shout out to that went out there, told you guys that I had a strike and that I would be back on obviously today. One of those was St. Bernard Acres with Joe. One of them was Angry Prepper. And the third one was Pinball Preparedness. And I spoke with Jason, Angry Prepper, because he had sent me something else and said, look at this. And we had a discussion about that. It's something totally different, unrelated. And then I let him know that I had a strike, and he goes, I'll put it out there and let people know. And I appreciate that. I know when Pinball got his strike, and somebody let me know that he had the strike, that I let people know as well. Because I think communication is key. A lot of people have no idea what's going on. And so, that's what happens with that. And so, hey, glad to see you back and out of jail. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. As one of my hardcore members, and she changed her name, so but I know her from her other name. But yes, she's been one of my hardcore members from when I first started doing the membership. So thank you very much. I'm glad to be back. It was very, very strange not making when you do this, and realistically, I mean, this is my job, right? This is my job. This is what I do. Generally do 2 videos a day. If I have a live stream, I do 1 video and then I do my live stream. So that's how that goes. So when you were used to doing that and interacting with people and talking with people on a regular basis, it is definitely different. So, but I just wanted to talk about those 3 channels real quick and let all of them know how much I appreciate them reaching out to everybody else and let them know. I did put it on Twitter. I did put it on Instagram, and I also put it on my Facebook page. And so, letting people know what was going on. So obviously, not everybody follows me on Twitter. Not everybody follows me on Instagram. So now you should see. There you go. So yeah, welcome to America. Now shut up. Exactly. So you just you have to be careful. Now, obviously, there are certain things that we are not allowed to talk about. So and if you do talk about them, then you're going to have problems. And so that's the reality. Again, guys, it's like this is their ball game. They bring the baseball. And if I don't want to play by the rules, they're going to take their ball and they're going to go home. So again, I felt like I didn't do anything wrong. I wasn't trying to cause any strife or any issues and stuff like that. But it happens. It happens. And again, I've been targeted before, as we all know, with different things, and that's part of what happens. When you think outside the box. And here's the other thing too, and this is the way I look at it too. There must be some truth to the different things that I say that I'm being punished for, because why would they punish me otherwise? So that's kind of where I'm going to be with that one. So anyway, I'm going to start out. We're going to talk about this smallpox thing shortly. I promise you. So now that we got what 543 people in the chat already, we got 193 thumbs up. So I'm going to ask for a thumbs up if you would do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time for doing so. I appreciate that. And again, it really does help with the algorithms. And because of missing for a week, my views are obviously way down. So it happens. So you take the hit and you move on. You know what I mean? Being pissed off and being angry. And was I pissed off? Of course I was pissed off. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm only human. But you have to realize it's part of the game. So we play the game or we're gone. And that's the unfortunate part of it. So that's where we're at with that. But anyway, so I want to tell you about this. So yeah, the last 2 nights we were down here we were in West Virginia at my camp, obviously in West Virginia. You'll see tomorrow's video at 3. I'll be discussing some things, and you'll see that video. That was at my homestead down in West Virginia. And so we were there, and the first night wasn't bad. Got down to about 46 degrees at night, wasn't too terrible. We knew that last night was going to be colder, and they were calling for it to go down to 29. So, I said to Beck, I said, we'll just keep, the heat on in the camper. And then when we go to bed, we'll turn it off, we'll go to sleep. And if we wake up and we're cold, we'll turn it back on and we'll, warm the place up again. It's no big deal. Well, and again, and you know what? These are one of the things that I try to explain to people that are really good learning lessons in life, to be honest with you. So, 10 o'clock last night, Becky says to me, Ed, is the heat on? And I go, yeah, why? She goes, it's feel like it's getting colder in here. Ran out of propane. Both of the propane tanks were empty. So we didn't have heat last night in the camper. And it didn't go down to 29 degrees last night. It went down to 26 degrees. And so this morning in the camper, it was 36 degrees in the camper this morning. It was freaking cold. We did not sleep well. It was a very, very long night. And so, again, these are things that you can take as a lesson and learn, what works, what doesn't work. And again, this 100% on me that I didn't bring a couple, or at least a backup propane tank. I should have. Wasn't thinking about it, to be honest with you. So we ended up leaving there this morning. We had planned on getting a hotel today anyway. That was the game plan for tonight anyway, because we're closer. We had to come to a different location, and so we wanted to be closer to, where we're going to be going tomorrow. So where we are tonight, which I'm not going to tell you where we are tonight, but we are about 45 minutes away as opposed to being about 4.5 to 5 hours away. So that's why we decided we're going to go here. I wanted to be able to come online tonight, do a live stream. I figured, well, if we're at the hotel, we can do that, and we'll do all that type of stuff. So anyway, so here we are. So that hopefully that explains what has been going on. It's been very, very interesting, and but it was an interesting night. Like I said, definitely a lesson learned. What I plan on doing for sure in the spring is getting a hold of one of the local propane companies down in West Virginia and having them bring me in a nice old big 330-gallon tank down there and hooking that up and having that hooked right into the camper, so no more issues. So, all right. So anyway, so let's what else? I think it was something else I was going to tell you, and then we're going to get into the topic. So I'm going to address this rather quickly, and I'm going to give you my opinion, and I'm not going to really get into great detail of this. I'm just going to tell you how I feel about the situation. So, as everybody knows by now, anybody that's pretty much in the United States knows, the young man was acquitted. And I'm not going to say his name because I don't want to trigger anything. But the young man was acquitted today on all charges. I absolutely 100% agree with that decision. Okay. There's a lot of people that don't. It's very, very divided the way people are seeing it. I don't know how you cannot see the same film that I saw and not have the same opinion. But apparently, if you are whatever, I don't know. This is my biggest thing with this situation. I feel horrible for this kid. And not because of the reasons you're going to think. What I feel horrible for this kid because for the rest of his life, he has to live with what happened. Now, he was backed into a corner. He was trying to get away. He did what he had to do. 100%, I'm on board with all of that. But I hope that he can get the help that he needs to deal with the process of what he has to deal with. I hope that sues the crap out of some of these channels too, as well, because of the slander, the judgment that politicians, that the news media put out there. guilty before anything is ever proven in court. Okay. So, very sad situation. Um, I will be honest with you. This is the only issue that I have with the entire situation. The only issue that I have is, why was a 17-year-old kid allowed to be in that situation in the first place? Okay. I know his reasons for going there. Okay. But when you are a parent and you have a child, you need to be making better examples and making sure that your kids are not putting themselves in a situation where something can happen. Okay. These things happen, guys. And so, that's my only thing that I would say as far as a negative in that situation. Should have never been there. Okay. But unfortunately, he did go. What happened happened. It's very, very unfortunate. And, it's just, everybody's going to have an opinion, and that's great. You can have whatever opinion that you want. But if any one of us would have been in that same situation being attacked, and you defend yourself, you should be given a medal. And that's just, again, that's my opinion. And so that's all I want to say about that. All right. So, all right. So recently, is if you guys again have been paying, yeah, you know what, the Second Amendment has no age limit. Exactly, Tony. And that's great. It doesn't. But again, putting yourselves in situations, and I've talked about this, guys. If you remember, January 6th, people said, Ed, are you going? And I said, absolutely not. Never going to be anywhere near there. And people said, why? And my answer was the same as I've told you guys right along, because you can end up in a situation where you're going to get jammed up. And if you end up in a prison cell, right, like the shaman, he was really cool looking, right? Went in there, was standing in Congress, and blah. Guess what? He's doing 4 years in prison. How does that help anybody? How does that help anybody? Now, it doesn't. Okay. So I'm not going to ever put myself in a situation where I get jammed up, but I have the luxury of lifetime of experience of dealing with stuff. This was a young man. So there, you know what I mean? So he should have had, and again, my opinion, he should have had better people guiding him on what he should be doing. That's the only thing that I have. But, but I don't fault him for what he did. The circumstances that he ended up being in, he did what he had to do. That's again, that's my opinion. But if he was never there, never would have happened. That's that is what it is. But anyway, we can agree to disagree. Some of you may think that this should happen. Some are thinking that should happen. Um, and that's fine. Everybody, again, I respect everybody's right to believe whatever you want to believe. I'm giving you my opinion. That's it. That's it. Okay. So, again, if you, you know, you can, like I said, okay, I'll give you an example of something. So, the strike that I just got, I had a guy, and in the comments, he said, Trump lost the election. So anything that you say against that is misinformation. So he goes, so you can't give your opinion type of thing. And what I replied to that, if you want to go back and look at that comment, what I said was, that's your opinion. And that was advice that Becky said. She goes, tell him that. That's his opinion. And that's exactly what it is. Everybody has an opinion. Doesn't make it right, doesn't make it wrong. Everybody can think whatever they want. Hey, Lynn Ray, thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. But yes, I think he should sue everybody that had him guilty ahead of time. Okay. I think he should sue the crap out of everybody. But again, he has to live with this for the rest of his life. And I'm going to tell you what, I want some of you that feel like rah, rah, rah in this situation. I would like you to go talk to a veteran that has seen combat, that has had to take somebody's life, and see what they think about what it is like to take somebody's life. That's what that young man now has to deal with for the rest of his life, regardless of how the verdict came out, no matter what way the verdict came out. Now, I 100% believe the verdict came out in the right way. Trust me, I'm 100% behind that. But this young man has to live with that for the rest of his life. So just something to think about, okay? But all right. So I know here we are 20 minutes into the stream, and I have not talked about the topic of the video at all. So we're going to get into that now. So I do apologize. But before we do that, what do we got? We're up to 713 people in the chat, guys. We got 325 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up, I'm going to ask you to please do that to show support for the channel again, and thank you for doing so. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms, and thank you for doing that as well for that reason. And it really does help push us up higher in the rankings. And I like to see a lot of thumbs up, so that's part of it, of course, for me as well. It's part of the game. It's a lot of fun. I like to see where we can be by the end of a stream. Also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I want to ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. I'm going to make one more point of something, and then we're going to get into the topic of this video. I know, 21 minutes later, Ed, what are you thinking? So, you know, I am Malachi. It is not an easy thing to live with. You see that scene in your mind in quiet times, or suddenly do to a scent or sound, it never goes away. Exactly. And that's a great point. And so, like I said, I feel very badly for that young man. Thank you for that statement, and thank you very much for the donation as well. I do appreciate that. So I was just going to tell you guys something here. Let's see if it comes back to me. What was I going to say? Oh, I was going to make a point. Okay. I think it's very, very interesting. I got this strike when I did, because all of a sudden I was having a nice influx of new subscribers. And I know part of that was because of Alaskan Prepper giving me shout outs. Also Pinball, giving me a shout out here and there, Angry Prepper, and the other channels, the ones that I give shout outs back to as well. I know I was getting an influx of new people from different channels. And so, my views were up, and, my subscribers were up, and it was going in a nice direction, which, of course, that's what we all like to see. And, and then bang, I get a strike. So I find the timing of that very, very interesting. That's just the last point I want to make. Okay. So in a Pennsylvania lab, they found some vials that said smallpox, right? This is nothing that we all haven't heard in the news. So these were sent off to the CDC, and the CDC comes back and says that those vials had smallpox vaccine in them, and that they were not smallpox. Okay, now that's what the CDC said. Is that the truth, or is that not the truth? I have no idea, but I find it very, very interesting. This is what I find interesting. A lot of talk lately, a lot of chatter about there might be an outbreak, right? Yeah, YouTube doesn't want me to get the tattoo. Yeah, John, that's right. So anybody doesn't know what John's talking about, when I hit 100,000 subscribers, I'm going to have STD tattooed on me. If you're new to the channel, at the end of every one of my videos, I say STD, and then I explain what it is. And it's not what everybody traditionally thinks it is. There's one definition of that we grew up with, and then there's my definition of it. But it's a term that you will not forget. And if you use it in the context that I use it in, it's a great thing for life. So, but I will be, and we're getting closer. When I hit 100,000 subscribers, then I will be getting that tattoo. So that will be fun. So anyway, so I'm going to show you guys. Let's see if, I don't know if you guys will be able to see this or not. I think it's right. I think the indentation's right here. Okay. So right here, I was born in 1965. So in the 60s, smallpox was pretty much almost at that point eradicated, right? And so 1972, they stopped giving the smallpox vaccine. Now, if you were a child of my generation before 1972, you have that circle on your arm. Now, do any of us remember it? No, because you got it when you were 1 year old. That's when they gave you that, and it was one of many shots. So it was the gun. They hit you with the gun, and it left that scar on you. All right. So if you were of my generation, if you are a Generation Xer, you have that scar. Okay. But they stopped giving that in 1972 because pretty much smallpox had been eradicated. And the reason that they decided to stop doing it is because they were saying, and this is what I have read. Okay, so I'm not like making anything up. I'm not trying to spread any false information. I'm putting this out there from this is information that I read. They said that in because it had pretty much been eradicated by that point, that it was, the detrimental effects, there was no reason to give it anymore, and that, because there was definitely some side effects from that. Yep, I have that scar. 1960. Mary Mills just said, yeah. I mean, if you are in our age group, if you are older, if you were born in 1972 or before, you probably have that scar. And so, but that's what we all got. You know what I mean? So the younger generation from 1972 forward, there has been no smallpox in the United States. I mean, there's been it was an outbreak, I think, in 1977 was the last outbreak of smallpox, but it was so small, it didn't really make a difference. But they stopped giving it. So there's all this chatter out there saying that people are believing, and you know what? And again, guys, I don't know what's true, what's not true. Never, I'm not privy to that information. But people are saying that there's a possibility that there could be a smallpox outbreak because of the fact that people are not vaccinated for it anymore. Number one. Number two, those of us that did have it got that so long ago that our immunity to it would not be as strong as it would be if it had been something, closer to the time. But the fact that we had that, it gives us a better chance to fight it. But like I said, my daughter, she never got that because it's not part of what the series of shots that the kids get now. Now I know that when I was a child, the amount of shots that we got then compared to the number of shots that they get now, it's more than doubled. I'm not going to give exact numbers because I don't want somebody to say that I'm saying something that's not true, but it is more than doubled the number of shots that the kids today get as compared to what we got. That's just a fact. And like I said, I'm 1965, the year I was born, so it's a whole different thing. But they came up with new things, and so that's where it all comes from. So I'm not, and that's not anything to do with anti anything. That's just I'm stating what it is. Okay. So, but anyway, so they had, like I said, they took these vials that were found in a lab in Pennsylvania, and they were taken to the CDC, and the CDC said that, this is what was going on with that. So that it was not the virus, that it was the vaccine. But my question would be, and again, like I said, I'm a big believer that you should be questioning everything. Always question everything. Whatever I tell you, I want you guys to do your homework. I want you to do your own research and see, is PN1 full of crap or is PN1 telling the truth? I have no reason to lie. I have made mistakes. And if I make a mistake, I will be the first one to come on this channel and say, hey, I screwed up, and I own it, because I think that's the right way to do. Okay. But my question would be, why, if something that had been stopped being given in 1972, so let's figure out how many years that is, right? So we're talking uh, 40, almost 50 years ago, realistically. What this is 2021, so yeah, almost 50 years ago. You have something that has not been given in that long. Why would a lab in Pennsylvania have that on stock? That would be my question. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I don't understand it. So, why would they? So, I was born in 71 and I don't have the scar. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know why you wouldn't. Like I said, they stopped giving it in 72. So I don't know.
So you would be 1 year old in 72.
Oh yeah, if you were born in 71 and 72, you would have been 1 years old. So that's why you don't have the scar. There you go. That makes sense. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
from the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got it at about one. So, but anyway, and I want you guys to think about this. Okay, let's go with something else and what happened in my generation. I had the chicken pox as a child. So if you had somebody in the neighborhood, a child that had the chicken pox, what they would do is they would bring all the children in the neighborhood to play with that child. Why? The reason is it's much more survivable to get the chicken pox as a child as opposed to getting it as an adult. Jack Barnes says, thoughts on OSHA stopping halting of the mandate? Yeah. Mm, thank you for that question. Um, I will I will address that in saying this. I agree with what they have done. That's what I don't really want to get onto that topic. I don't want to be, saying that I'm giving or not giving medical advice or misinformation. So I will say I think it was a good decision. That's all I will say. Again, that's an opinion. Okay. So, but anyway, as children, yeah, chicken pox parties is exactly what they would have. So they would get all the kids and they would bring them in with that child that had chicken pox, and you got the chicken pox. Much easier to get it as a child and survive than trying to get it as an adult and having to deal with it then. Okay. So that's what they did back in our day as children, and, I think that's not a bad thing. I really don't, because this way now I've had it. So I've built up that immunity to it, you know, and so there you go. But, it's just a lot of what's going on is, also, yeah, so EV3 Dale says shingles. Okay. A certain percentage of people have gotten shingles as an adult from having smallpox as children. I've never had an issue with shingles. I have a cousin that he did get shingles, and my sister never had shingles, and his brother never got shingles, and all four of us had the chicken pox. So it's why some people get it and some don't, couldn't tell you. It happens, but not everybody that had chicken pox is going to get shingles. There is a certain percentage that yeah, shingles usually later in life. Yep, I agree with you, and that's exactly right, Teresa. um, I have not had an issue with it myself. I'm going to knock on for Micah here as I say that, because I definitely never want to have that. I never want to have to deal with that. So, but like, yep, somebody said they do have a treatment that you can get now, so that you don't get the shingles. Now, again, that is 100% your choice. You can do it or not do it. With me, there's no judgment on that. You can do whatever you want to do. You know why? Because it's your body, and you can do whatever you want to do with your body. And I'm not going to tell you what you can or cannot do with your own body. And in the same breath, I don't want anybody telling me what I have to or don't have to do with my own body. That's just kind of where I stand with that. So, yeah, natural immunity is more effective. Yes, it is. I think that, with getting sick, and we all get sick, I mean, I've had the flu before and stuff like that. And, I think that with getting that, you build up your immunity and your natural antibodies in your body when you get the flu. And it sucks. It's no fun, and but I the last time I got sick was 2 years ago. So, very fortunate. But I attribute some of it to my lifestyle. I attribute some of it to the fact that I do a daily regimen of vitamins. I think that makes a difference. And, I think that's a big, big part of it. So, but, you know, again, there's a lot going on, and it's an interesting world. That is for sure. There's no doubt about that at all. But, Ed, how much stuff are we going to see again that was wiped out due to the rush of immigration? That's a great question, John. And I was going to actually address that when you have an influx of people coming into the United States that have not had the vaccination regime that we've had as children, they didn't have it in their country. Okay. So now you have these people coming in here and bringing all kinds of things with them. And that happens. I mean, it's not, saying that they're dirty people or they're bad people. It is what it is. But if you have somebody coming up here that has whatever diseases that we've pretty much eradicated in the United States, and now our whole younger generation hasn't been, protected against that, there is, it's an interesting thing. The dynamics of it all is, it's fascinating. If you really study things, um, and again, to me, what it always comes down to is doing the homework. Do your homework, you know, uh, and if you do your homework, there's a lot of information out there. Don't just believe what you are fed through the mainstream media. I would encourage you all to continue to do your research. Don't just believe the mantra, question everything. And if you question everything, it's amazing sometimes what you can find. So, but shingles can blind you if you get it in your eyes. Yes, yep, that is absolutely true. And Candace is saying, "I'm sorry to hear about you lost some of your older hens." Yeah, I had this week. I had one of my older hens. I knew she wasn't going to make it to the winter. Guaranteed, I knew she wasn't going to make it to the winter. I have Now I'm down to four older hens. I had seven of these girls that were given to me by John and Patty, and they had no idea how old the hens were when they got them. They gave me some of those hens, and so I got those hens, and they laid pretty good for a while, and then they stopped. And yep, don't be spoon-fed reality. Exactly. Again, I'm a big believer, guys. I want you as an individual person to always question everything. What I say, what anybody else says, do your research, pay attention. Yeah, thick neck is good. Nope, thick neck is good. She is, as Asif had said earlier today, she is on her winter sabbatical from laying eggs. Thick neck does not like to lay in the winter. She will not lay in the winter. So when the weather gets cold, she stops laying. So I have not gotten an egg from thick neck probably for a month. When the spring comes, she'll start to lay again. It's what she does. I like that bird. She's a cool chicken. So, but no, one of my Rhode Island Reds, one of my older girls, um, was one of the ones. Now, I can't tell you what the egg count is today because I haven't. I talked to Heather earlier, but actually, you know what I can do while I got you guys on here? I'm going to call Heather, or not call her. I'll text her, and I'll say, "What was the egg count?" Oh, okay, yes. So Heather has a message here as well. I guess some people have made some orders for her jewelry. And if JJ would throw that link up to Heather's channel, she's just telling me, she said, "Can you please tell them I will ship the orders out when I get back? Because I have to take her to the post office. And right now she doesn't have me there. And so there's not a car available." All right. I'm going to ask her what the egg count was. All right. And when I get that information back, we will do the egg count at that time. So, all right. All right. So we'll wait for that. Anyway, why don't you make a few standby channels on YouTube in case of strikes? You know what, Rob? I think I'm going to end up doing that. That way, if I get silenced on one channel, I can go to the next channel and you guys will know where I'm going to be. And I do need to do that. I was going to do that after the first strike that I got. And then I'm like, well, I won't talk about that topic again. And I told you guys I'm not going to talk about that topic again. And I haven't because I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to get shut down. And then, then it happens, I get another strike again. So, and again, those strikes are on there for 90 days. So, so JJ just put the link up for Heather's jewelry channel. And so anybody that has made a recent order, when I probably Monday we'll go down to the post office and she's going to ship those out. Anybody, she was asking me to let you guys know that. So, oh, since we don't have a kitty cam, they want a Becky cam. Okay, hold on.
Oh,
In a wave. There you
there
go.
we go.
All right.
My
Becky
hair isn't even
Becky
pressed.
cam. Yeah, it's been a very, very long day. Okay, so I do have it. So we're gonna do the egg count in about 5 minutes, guys. So, all right. Real quick, I want to talk about my website, and then we'll do the egg count after that. If you go to preppernurse1.com, we have the Prepper Nurse One community there, which is a resource that we set up for you guys to be able to connect with like-minded people. I encourage you to take advantage of that. It is free to join. You do have to register, but no credit card information is asked. If you want to go and read the message boards or try to connect with like-minded people in your state or your country, that is what that resource is there for, is for you guys. Okay. So you have to be proactive with it. So, secondly, on my website, we have the Forefathers, which is the CBD and hemp store. So if you go preppernurse1.com, you will see their logo, Forefathers, on there. If you click on that, it will take you to their website. If you decide to make a CBD or hemp purchase, when you check out, make sure you use the discount code PrepperNurse1, and that's the number one, not ONE. Okay. Uh, you'll save 15% on your purchase over there. Uh, CBD products are a great thing to have. They help with a lot of different ailments, and they're a good thing to have in your long-term preps as well. So I definitely encourage you to do that. The last thing I want to talk about on my website is the legacy freeze-dried food. So again, um, if you go to preppernurse1.com, you will click on store. It will drop down. You will see legacy. You click on that. It will take you to the store within the website. If you decide to purchase something, it is a 25-year storage for 25 years. It is GMO free. There are gluten options available. It is vegetarian, but you can buy beef and chicken options separately. Okay. Largest portion size of any of the other freeze dried food companies. So it's definitely something that you should have in your preps anyway. So definitely take advantage of that. All right. So that is all I wanted to talk about with that. Get that out of the way. And now we're done with that. So we'll go ahead. It's 42. So I'm going to ask again. We're 689 in the chat now. We got 473 in the thumbs up. So again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, uh, I would ask you to do that to show support for the channel, and thank you ahead of time. And I do appreciate that. Again, it does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction we have, the better it is for the channel. So I do appreciate it for that reason as well. And of course, the third reason, I do like to see a lot of thumbs up. That's just part of the game. So thank you ahead of time for doing all those things. And again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to make sure you subscribe, hit the bell icon to get all notifications. Okay, what are your guesses for the egg count today? So I'll give you guys a moment, and I will tell you who is the first one that I just saw with the right answer, and there was someone. So give you guys a minute to get your guesses up there. I will tell you this, several of you are right today. If you had the same exact guess, is Rhonda Pagan. Rhonda Pagan with 4 eggs. That's what we ended up with today, 4 eggs. And I will tell you, just before I left on this trip, we were averaging, like, one day we would get 2, maybe we'd get 4 or 5. The most that I've gotten recently, we ended up with 7. So, but today was 4. And Heather did say it is snowing back home in New York today. She said woke up with it about 2 inches of snow on the car and her car, and so it was she said, but then it all melted off, so it warmed up enough for it all to melt. But they're definitely getting snow back home, which of course is that time of year, and that's what happens. So the new chickens, yes, I think that's where my eggs for the majority of them are coming from, is the new hens. We're going through also a period, I still have hens that are molting. And so if you don't know what molting is every year they will grow new feathers when the weather changes so that they're warmer for the winter. And so their energy, instead of going into laying eggs, it goes into growing feathers. So that's what happens, and that's why you have periods where you will have a lull in egg production. With all chickens, guys, and people say, well, if you do this or you do that, you'll get more eggs. Okay, which is great. But every chicken, when they're born with the exact number of eggs they're ever going to lay. So if you push those eggs out quicker, uh, I, to me personally, I find it detrimental to the chicken. If they need a break and not lay eggs, I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? And so, uh, to me, it is just a matter of, they're going to give me what they're going to give me. I'm going to take care of them no matter what, and I enjoy my chickens. So that's how we go. And in the spring, I think what I'm going to end up doing, I may incubate my own this year. I think that's what I'm going to try to do, and I want to try to incubate maybe a dozen chickens, and we'll see what we end up with, and we'll go from there. So we're down to, what did I say, 19? I think we're at 19, 18 or 19 chickens now, something to that effect. The two roosters and the rest of them are all hens. So, you know, but yeah, there. I said, look who's been paroled, and I know what 80K man is talking about in New York. Many years ago, probably I think it's 27 years ago. A young man who was 13 at the time lured a 4-year-old into the woods and he killed him, in New York, out in the country, in an area that you wouldn't expect it to happen. And so, he ended up being caught. He did some other things to his child, which were quite disgusting. And, but he went to prison. Well, when you're 13 years old, you do 27 years in prison, they're going to let you out eventually. And this gentleman, is being paroled. And this is what blows me away. He wants to go back and live in the town where he grew up. How twisted is that? I mean, you got to be a pretty twisted individual to say, hey, I want to go back to the same area where I did this to this child. I'm sure they're going to welcome him with open arms. They probably can't wait, for him to come back. So unbelievable, unbelievable. So that, yeah. Uh, let's put it like this: as a parent, um, if somebody did something to my child and I was still alive and still able to do something about it when that person was released from prison 27 years later, not saying that I would be responsible for what I would do, because it is unbelievable, that. But again, because of the fact that this kid has served that much time, you knew that they were eventually going to let him out. But yeah, I'm not going to say what I would do. No, Viking prepper, I'm not going to say that. So anyway, but yeah, I've been paying attention to what's going on, and I find certain things fascinating. Of course, there is. I know I talk about this a lot, and I'm going to talk about this again. Okay, I want to encourage you all not to be victims. Don't set yourself up to be victims. If you're new to the channel and you're watching, maybe for the first time or something like that, and you're thinking about prepping, and maybe I should prep and I'm not sure what I should do, I'm going to give you a great example. So, talking to the clerk here at the counter today, and she was saying that a friend of hers, and this goes to just kind of explain things, where people's minds are at. Um, and they were talking about if SHTF happened. And she said, "Yeah, my friend so and so, and I won't say the lady's name. She's a huge fan of Dr. Pepper, so she's going to have to stock up on Dr. Pepper, because if SHTF happens, she's got to have her Dr. Pepper." That, to me, that's frightening. That your priority would be Dr. Pepper. So my thing is, and this, and as I try to explain to you guys, and I know that the percentage has gone down, so it's no longer 95% according to the FEMA and Red Cross websites. We're down to 93% of the people are not prepared for a 2-week disaster. And I want you to think about that, put that into perspective. Okay. That means that 93% of the people in this country do not have enough food and water to sustain them for a 2 week disaster. Now, do we not have continuous disasters in this country year after year after year, all throughout the entire country? Flooding, forest fires, mudslides, ice storms, blizzards, hurricanes, tornadoes, just to name a few things, right? We have this all the time happening, and still people do nothing to prepare. Uh, that's frightening. That is frightening to me because there is going to be a lot of victims out there. And, if you want to survive whatever's coming, and like I told this girl at the counter, I said, why wouldn't you? If it would give you an advantage over 93% of the other people in the country, why would you not have a 2 week supply of food and water? It's not a tremendous amount of money. It really isn't. Water, 1 gallon of water per person per day. So you got a family of three, right? You're looking at 3 gallons a day times 2 weeks. It's not a tremendous amount of water. It's not going to cost you a small fortune to get that. You can go buy the gallon jugs. Simple. You buy a case, there's six in a case, right? 6 gallons in a case. Now you just have 3 days worth of water right there for one case. It doesn't cost a tremendous amount of money. So to me, there's no excuse not to. But again, more and more people, again, not doing anything, and they're not going to do anything. So why would you not give yourself that advantage? And so again, having enough food, especially if you have children, it's hugely, hugely important to me. To me, it is. I just don't understand. I don't understand the mindset. Again, now I will be honest with you, and I've told you guys, for years I was asleep at the switch myself, watching different things. Y2K came, right? I didn't think a big thing of Y2K. I thought it was overblown, and lo and behold, yeah, it was. The computers didn't crash, none of that happened, and so no big deal. But when Hurricane Katrina came, and I saw the government's response to Hurricane Katrina in 2005, that scared the crap out of me, especially when I had 4 year old twins at home and I had a 10-year old that I was responsible for as the father, and my wife was a stay at home mom. And I was looking at this situation and I was going, if we had a major crisis, how could I ever look at my children in the eye and say, I didn't think enough to prepare to make sure that you would be okay? I couldn't do that, and that's why I got started. And that was my light bulb moment. That was my defining moment that got me going. And yeah, I will tell you, I am an all or nothing type person. I'm either all in or I'm not in at all. So yeah, I am definitely in the extreme. Did a tremendous amount of research, read a lot of books. But I will tell you this right now, just like with this weekend, or just this last couple of days and what we experienced yesterday. When you are in a situation and something happens, that is a learning experience. I will guarantee you this. I will guarantee you this. I will never be caught in that situation again with not having enough propane for that camper down here, at my property in West Virginia. It's a good learning experience. And the only way you get those learning experiences is by getting out there and dipping your toe into the pool and see if it's cold. That's how you learn. Trial and error. And you learn what works, you learn what doesn't work. And I'm going to tell you what, like I said, again, I will never be caught in that situation again. I will always have at least one, if not two, backup propane tanks. But like I said, what I do plan on doing is when the spring gets here, I'm going to call a local company and have them bring me in a big old 330-gallon tank and have them come in and fill it up, once or twice a year, whatever we need to do. That's how we learn, folks. Figuring out when these events happen, when natural disasters happen, those are opportunities for us as preppers, for off gridders, to learn how strong or how weak we are in our preps. Because we can sit here and say, well, I got this and I got that and I'm ready to go. And then said event, any kind of natural disaster happens, and all of a sudden you realize, holy crap, I don't have this or I don't have that. I want to hear from you guys in the comments. How many of you have gone through events even though you're preppers, and realized you were weak in certain areas, right? How many of you? Probably quite a few, because I've been there myself. And that's how we learn. That's how we learn. And it's great. It's a great learning lesson because it's not life and death now. But I'm going to tell you, there will come a point where it will be life and death. Yeah, and a lot of you were saying, "Yep, me, I have, yep," and I knew that there would be a lot of responses like that. You know, 80K man, 1998 ice storm, week everywhere, and you know what? I'll bet you're not now. And again, see, that's what the beauty is of these events. We can take these learning lessons and we can say, okay, I'm going to make myself stronger here. I'm going to make myself stronger there. So when that next event happens, you're not getting caught with your pants down. And you're not the one sitting there looking for somebody else to help you out of whatever situation you're in. That's important. Those are blessings, guys. Realistically, and I know that sounds crazy, those are blessings. Those are gifts that we're given to learn from. And it's awesome. Because I'll tell you what, you absolutely will learn. You will absolutely learn, you know, and so it's a smart thing. It's a smart thing. The more ready we are for whatever's going to happen, it puts us at such an advantage over everybody else. It really does. And so, again, I'm always going to encourage you, get out there, prep, do what you got to do, be prepared, be as ready as you can be, because we never know. Every day is a gift, every day is a bonus. It gives us an opportunity to make ourselves into a better situation for when that time comes, we can handle whatever that situation is. So, and there's like 80K man says, I now have food, water, heat, lighting, power, both solar and gas. And again, how many people are affected by these events? You look at Hurricane Sandy, good example, hit New Jersey, New York, a lot of issues. I will never forget when Hurricane Sandy hit down in that area. And I think it was Chucky Schumer went down there and did the glad handing and shaking hands and showing, look at I'm here and I'm here. I'm supporting you guys. No, because he went back and he had all his power and whatever he needed to have. So he wasn't suffering like these other people were suffering. And I will never forget on video, I saw a lady sitting there and like wringing her hands and going, why aren't you helping us? Don't rely on them to help you. Help yourselves. Be your best advocate. And I will always encourage you guys to do that. I don't want you guys to be victims. I don't want you to be victims in any natural disaster that happens, and I don't want you to be victims when that time comes and a major thing happens, which eventually it will. Look at history. History repeats itself constantly, constantly. Um, I'm always going to encourage you to do that. I'm always going to encourage you to learn how to garden, because case event, in a worst case event, we are not going to be hunters anymore. There's not going to be anything in the woods to hunt because everybody is going to be out there hunting. You look at the lessons learned in history, the Great Depression, they hunted the woods pretty much dry. It took 30 years for the woods to recover, for the animals to recover. We got a whole lot more people in this country than we did in the 1930s. Think about that. Put that into that perspective. So we are going to be growers and we're going to be gatherers. So wild edibles, whatever you can grow, whatever you know how to grow, that's how we're going to survive. So Pat Martinez said, Ed, you might want to get the propane tank ASAP. Prices are going up fast. Yeah, I'm not going to be down there this winter. So, I do understand what you're saying. And I agree with you 100% that I probably should get it sooner rather than later. I have a few other priorities that need to be addressed in New York first. That is something that I definitely can put off in West Virginia. I will not be, going down there and spending time overnight at the homestead in December or January or February. Probably, I'm hoping to get down there March at some point and get started. Once I am there more. It's going to give me that time to do what I need to do down there. So, that's where I'm at with that. So what I want to do now, because we're almost an hour into the stream, I want to do some shout outs. So now I'm going to do the three guys that I already gave shout outs to at the beginning of this video, who let a lot of you know what was going on. We got Angry Prepper down in New York City. Awesome, awesome guy. Love him. Standing up for himself, fighting a good fight. A lot of respect for him. Okay. Pinball also came on, let you guys know what was going on. I appreciate that too. And also St. Bernard Acres. I would ask you to go to all three of those channels, subscribe to their channels, follow their journeys, what they're doing, and those type of things. And, let them know that Prepper Nurse One sent you over. Also, Wrangle Star out west, he's out there. Real good dude. Very, very family oriented, which I think is a fantastic thing. We have Marfugal News out on the West Coast. Awesome guy, Dax and Adam, and good people. So, definitely something that you should follow their channel. We also have Icky Can, my buddy up in Canada. He is up there. He's got his channel. Definitely follow him as well. And JJ just threw his link up here. Bizariza Jizza, and JJ will throw his link up as well. He is in Rochester, and he has the Carrington Chronicles, which he has been doing, generally releasing a new one every Sunday. So definitely check that out as well. We have Green Greg's. We have Southern Prepper One. There's Doug and Stacy. They have a great channel. Bushcraft Bear over in La Palma, still with the volcano continuing to erupt over there. Monitoring what's going on over there and sharing that information. Really, really down to earth guy. Like his channel a lot. Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. Loved him as well. Awesome, awesome guy. Sean James. He has two channels up in Canada with My Self Reliance and also Sean James. So those are two different channels that I think you should definitely go to and support as well. There is Corporal's Corner. There is, let's see, Gray Man Prepping. Also, we have, just trying to think here. There's so many different channels out there, guys. Prepper Princess. We have Prepper Nation. There is, God. North Shore Preparedness is one of my moderators who also has a channel as well. I'm just trying to think who else off the top of my head. Magic Prepper out in North Dakota. Already said Gray Man. Canadian Prepper, he has a good channel as well. A lot of good information with him. Alaskan Prepper, how could I forget Alaskan Prepper? Really, really awesome dude. Very, very down to earth. A lot of good knowledge with him as well. Alaskan Granny, the Needy Homestead, really nice family there. Went through a terrible tragedy recently, as anybody that knows what's going on there. She lost her husband in an automobile accident. Good people. So definitely support them as well. There are a lot of good channels out there, guys, and we should be supporting each other, lifting each other up, and in doing that. Bjorn Hansen, I think I said Corporal's Corner already. Lenny on the Mississippi, yes, I saw that on Icky Can also. I missed what you guys were talking about. I missed that. Southern, what was this? Southern Homestead, I think is the name of the channel, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. You guys are going to correct me. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong on that. They just hit 200,000 subscribers, so I wanted to congratulate them. It's Southern something, and I can't think if I'm saying it wrong. Somebody's got to put it up here for me so I can see. There's Ice Age Farmer. There is, again, Deep South Homestead. Yeah, where did I get Southern? Okay, Deep South Homestead just hit 200,000 subscribers. Really down to earth people as well. I definitely think you should support them as well. And again, just tell them Prepper Nurse One sent you down. I haven't talked to them, but they definitely seem very, very down to earth. So, Angry Homesteader Ed, do you suggest moving to West Virginia, Tennessee, Kentucky? Yes, absolutely. Yes, and yes. Wherever you want to go, you want to get, and this is, I'm giving you my opinion on this, okay? If you can get out to a more rural area where you have more freedoms, and you're going to be able to do what you want to do if you want freedom, I should say. West Virginia is an awesome place to be. Uh, I'm going to give you some pros of West Virginia. Okay. Now, the one con is not a lot of jobs in West Virginia. So, depending on what you do for a living, it would depend on where you're going to be able to get work. But if you're driving truck, for an example, you can drive truck anywhere. If you are a nurse, there's always going to be jobs everywhere for nursing. So there's if you work in corrections, there's always jobs for that as well. So there's definitely jobs out there. It just depends on what your niche is of what you can do. But pros of West Virginia: low taxes, less densely populated area, uh, definitely a constitutional carry state. So if you have your West Virginia driver's license, you can conceal carry or open carry. They have very little problems with things in West Virginia because everybody is assuming that the other person is armed. So you're not going to have people acting stupid because they don't want to get shot. It's a weird kind of concept that works really, really well. But anyway, and again, land is cheap in West Virginia, and so there's a lot of positives for it. It's beautiful, beautiful country. Tennessee's beautiful. Kentucky's beautiful. Uh, you know, North Carolina's beautiful. I mean, there's so many good areas that you can go. It just depends. Virginia, absolutely, the Blue Ridge Mountains. I drove through that area today. Just absolutely gorgeous. We were driving, and I kept saying to Becky, I'm like, look at that view. Um, there's a lot of different places where you can go that you can start and get away from the craziness. And you know what? You'll have people say, oh, all you Yankees moving down south and blah, blah, blah. If you're a decent human being, they don't care where you're from. If you're a good person, some will, sure, some will. But you know what? It's people for the most part they mind. And here's the other thing: in West Virginia, people mind their own business. That's a nice thing too. It's a weird foreign concept for some of you, I know, depending on where we're all from. But you get in certain areas and people keep to themselves. They do their own thing, and I think that is awesome. So I am really looking forward to spending the majority of my time in West Virginia when the spring gets here, living down in that area and doing what I want to do. And it had exactly the right mindset. Angry Homesteader, you're right. The right mindset. A lot of good people, and so I would absolutely encourage all of you, if you can get away from the cities, if you can get away from suburbia, do it. Do it while you can, because I'm going to tell you what, you don't want to be one of those refugees that are going to be out there trying to figure out, where am I going to go? What am I going to do? If you have that opportunity now to get a game plan. And let's say, okay, not everybody can afford land. Not everybody can afford to, get a place. Hook up with somebody that does. They're out there. You got to reach out. You got to put yourself out there. You got to make yourself vulnerable. I know it's tough and it's scary, but that's what happens. You have to take chances in life. And I think that's hugely important to do. So, I'm here to encourage, and I'm also here to live by example. Everything that I say to you guys, I have done. I sat in my basement in my house in Greece, New York, and talked about, I'm going to buy a piece of property and I'm going to go off grid. And guess what? That's exactly what I did. Okay, and I did it with two teenage kids at the time. And here we are. And now I'm looking to get the second homestead going, and I'm excited about it, and I'm definitely looking forward to not being in New York. I'll be honest with you. And having 25 acres, so I got a lot more area that's mine, and I can do whatever I want to do down there, which is also awesome. And I just, it's exciting. And I've met my neighbors down there, and they're good people. I've had no issues with them whatsoever. So that's a good thing as well. So anyway, sharing that information. We all have choices that we can make. Everybody has to make the choices that are going to best suit their situation. But when the time comes, time for excuses are over, and we all have to make a choice of, what are we going to do? Where are we going to go? Uh, you know, Look at what's going on, guys. I'll give you an example. Look what's going on in Australia right now. They're doing another lockdown. in Australia. Now they're saying it's only going to be 20 days, right? But they're doing another one. You want to go through that again? So craziness, absolute craziness. I hate to think what that's doing to their economy. It's got to be absolutely awful. The egg count today was 4. That's what the egg count was today. All right. So what I want to do now, because the time is definitely getting away, it's almost 10 after 9, and we're going to go to 20 after. So we got to do We Are Legion, of course, right? But before we do that, I want to ask for another thumbs up. If you guys have not done a thumbs up yet, please do so to please show support for the channel. I do appreciate that ahead of time, and thank you so much. It really does make a difference with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we can have, the better it is for the channel. So thank you very much ahead of time for that. Uh, so oh, very cool. So I just got a message popped up on here. Dennis got a deer today, so good for him. I know he's been looking to get a deer. He had promised somebody he would get them one, and he got it today. So good for him. I'm happy to hear that. So anyway, again, if you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, please do so. And again, I do appreciate that. Again, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications. So we are Legion. We are many, and not the bad biblical legion. So let's be very clear. We're like a good Roman legion. We are many. We are all over the world. Where is everybody from tonight? We have Franklin County, Ohio, Caribou, Maine. We have Quebec, Canada. Uh, let's see, Endicott, New York, New Mexico. We have Ulster Park, New York again, west coast of Florida, New Mexico, South Dakota, Phoenix, Arizona, Navajo Nation in Arizona. Welcome, glad you're here. Fillmore, New York, Northern New York, West Virginia, Melbourne, Australia. Welcome, glad you're here. Key West, Palmer, Alaska, Bristol, Tennessee, the Adirondacks. Go Bills, go Cowboys. It'll be a good tough game for the Cowboys this week. Beech Grove, Indiana. We have the UK is in the house. Very nice. New Zealand, welcome. Glad you're here. Let's see, St. Louis, Cincinnati, Ohio. We have Hawaii in the house. Uh, North Queensland, Australia. Very nice. Groveland, Massachusetts. Westchester, New York. We have Central Iowa. Huntington, West Virginia. Romney, West Virginia. Let's see, Delaware. Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Princeton, West Virginia. Anita, welcome. Uh, we have Texas again. Nowhere, Oklahoma. There he is. Southern Maryland, Central California. Ricon, Georgia. Hopefully I said that right. We have Michigan. Northern Highlands of California. We have Kent in the UK. Is that my boy? Hold on a second. I got to make sure because I got to give him a hard time. Peter. All right. Yep. Okay. Glad you're here, Peter. Welcome. Let's see. Sheila is also from Princeton, West Virginia. Mercerburg, Pennsylvania. Brunswick County, North Carolina. Let's see. Planet, Vermont. So again, Columbus, Wisconsin. I believe that's Wisconsin. Lone Grove, Oklahoma. So again, guys, all over the country, all over the world, we are a huge, huge family. We're a huge network of people, and we are the ones that truly can make a difference when the time comes. We can make a difference beforehand by educating. We have Newfoundland up in Canada, very nice. We're a huge family, we really are, and we are the ones that are awake. And I truly believe that we are the reason. There's a reason that we've been awoken. I really do. And so we have an opportunity to do something. We can educate people now, try to help people now, and continuing also at the same time to help ourselves. I think that's hugely, hugely important. That we definitely should be, helping ourselves. So don't stop prepping, keep doing what you're doing. Be as ready as you possibly can. Because here's the important thing, and I know I say this all the time too, but I'm going to say it again. When SHTF happens, you are going to have what you have. No more going to the store. No more running out for that last minute stuff. You're going to want to lay low, keep a low profile, and not try to put yourself as a target. There's going to be a lot of craziness if a true SHTF event happens. Look what happens when it is a minor event that happens now. What people do, how they act. It gets crazy fast. And in a true SHTF situation, it's going to get crazy in a hurry, and it's not going to be pleasant. So, you know, but anyway, uh, I'm glad to be back. I'm sitting here chatting away. Uh, so I will be back. I will be live streaming again on Sunday, guys. I will be home in time to do that. And so I'm looking forward to seeing you all then. And I may be tired because I will have been on the road, but I definitely will, uh, you know, be back out there. And then, like I say, Monday I'll be doing videos back at the homestead. I still have, and I'm like so slack on this. I'm terrible. I literally have about six or seven products that I need to review. I got these companies that sent me different stuff, and they're like, "Are you going to be doing this review? Are you going to?" And I'm like, "Yes, yes, I am." I just a little crazy with stuff going on. I am not in New York. Where am I? I am at an undisclosed location because I'm going to a fellow homesteaders retreat tomorrow, and I'll be spending the night there tomorrow. But I have videos that are going to be going up for you guys so that you can see, and you'll be able to see all those things when that time comes. So, but yeah, it's yeah, I got so I got a bunch of reviews I got to do for you guys. Some products that came in, and some of them are very cool. Some of them are okay. So, but and again, I'm always going to do an honest review, and I'm going to tell you what pros and cons, and if I like it or if I don't like it, and we'll go from there. So, but yeah, so I'm glad to be back. I missed you guys. Like I said, this is my job. This is what I do. So, it is, you know, talking with people and getting to know people and making contacts and stuff like that. It's all part of it, and it's for me, it's fun. And it's I know it's probably hard to believe. I like to talk a little bit. I'm good at it. I got a lot of information. I got a lot of things I like to share with people, and hopefully, I'm reaching out and I'm helping people, and that's what it's all about too. As we get going in the spring at the new homestead, you're going to get to watch that develop down there, and it's going to be, to me, it's going to be very exciting, and be able to for you guys, especially the newer people watching the channel, to watch it go from ground zero, from nothing to it's something. And so, that is a very cool thing as well. The priorities in the spring: power and water. Those are going to be the very first two priorities because I have shelter there. I have the camper, so I can live. But it will be nicer to have a reliable power source, and so that will be the new solar system that we're putting up down there. And also, getting the water situated. And we got the two different springs, and we will definitely get going with those and getting those things squared away. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of work down there, and I realize that. I'm looking forward to it. Took Becky for some walks down in the woods, took her down to the waterfall, showed her some of those things, and she was like, "Holy crap!" And I'm like, "Yeah." You were either going to get in shape or you were going to die down in West Virginia, because they're not little bitty hills. They are sides of mountains down there. So it's fun. It's fun, and I enjoy that. So anyway, guys, I want to thank my moderators. Again, I've missed you guys as well. So I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad to have you coming right back in and moderating again. I really appreciate what you do for me, ladies and gentlemen that moderate. You guys are the best, and it means a lot to me. It really does. I want to thank all of you guys for being here. Again, that's why I'm here. Hopefully, to educate, to help, maybe give some guidance. Wake some people up. I hope so. You know what I mean? I really do, and that's what it's about for me. It really is. I enjoy doing this. If I didn't enjoy doing it, I wouldn't do it. I'll be honest with you. I'd go on and do something else. I don't need to put myself out here. I do it because I enjoy it and I want to help people. I want people to help themselves, but if I can help them and guide them and wake them up and show them, average guy, goes out and does this, then anybody can do it. So, I think it's very, very cool. So anyway, yeah, so I appreciate all of you. I really truly do. What are we at? 690 on the thumbs up. So let's do this just for fun. Let's go for 725. That's 35 more thumbs up. So I got to do my ending spiel, which I always like to do. So we are going to do that, and let's see if we can get those 35 more thumbs up to put us at 725. Ed, you definitely woke up our family. Chris M said, "Man, thank you. I appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that." Thanks, Ed. Like having a younger brother. That's cool. I appreciate that too. That's very nice of you to say so. I'm telling you guys, when I tell you guys we're a family, we're a family. We really, really are. Because we're the ones that don't have our heads in our behinds. We are wide awake. We are seeing what's going on. And so I think that's really, really important. And I think we're the ones. There's a reason. There's a reason that we're awake. I really think so. So anyway, um, remember, guys, we truly are all in this together. We are one race called the human race, and people need to remember that. I think they lose sight of that, and they don't. They get so caught up in the nonsense, that goes on constantly. If you watch the news and you watch what the media is putting out there, they want us to be divided because if we're divided, we're not dealing with the true issues, which are always going to be big business and the government. That's the issue. Okay, so again, let's work together. Let's be that family that we need to be, and there we'll be in much, much better shape if we do that. Also remember, guys, hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. It is so, so important that we tell the people that we care about every day how we feel. Last but not least, STD, step thing and day. Again, when I hit 100,000 subscribers, I will have this tattooed on my body because it is so important. It's a mantra that you can use for any aspect of your life. It doesn't have to be just prepping. It doesn't have to be about just living off grid. It's whatever you were trying to do. Step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. It's so simple. You set your goal and then you go about to make it happen. I don't want you to wish because this is what happens when you wish, okay? And I want you to think about this. Wish in one hand and crap in the other and see which one fills up first. Don't do wishes, set goals. Set realistic goals, set about and make them happen. That's what we all need to be doing. I have my goals. I have things that I'm not going to try to accomplish next year. I have things that I'm going to accomplish next year. That's the mindset. You have to have that mindset. If you have that mindset, you can accomplish anything that you want to do. The only person in life that can stop you from achieving the goals that you have set for yourself are you. If you set realistic goals, I'm never going to be president. So my goal should never try to be president of the United States. First of all, I don't want the job. Okay. That's number one. I don't want that job. But I have goals that I'm going to set and then I'm going to make them happen. And that's where we all need to be. And if we do that, we can do anything. Any of us can. Don't listen to the negative people that want to try to bring you down and try to tell you what you cannot accomplish. Okay. That is important too. What are we at? 729, man. We jumped past that 725. Easy. Let's do this. Let's go for 20 more. We're at 730. Let's see if we can get 20 more. Let's go to 750. So we're going to give it I'm going to give it like 2 minutes here. Let's see if we can hit 750 thumbs up. Just a game, just for fun. Let's see if we can do that, guys. So if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, let's do that to show support for the channel. And I really do appreciate you guys doing that. It really does make a difference too. It really does with the algorithms. The more interaction we have, the better. It is. He's drunk with power. That's right. I'm a crazy man. Here's a goal, get a real job. Oh, that is so funny. Oh my God. This is a real job. But thank you for your judgment. I do appreciate that. No, you can leave that. You can leave that comment up, JJ. You don't have to do that. I don't care. Yeah, it's just, those are people that are jealous. That's all that comes down to. And it's sad. You have to feel sorry for people like that. You really do. You know, sound like an auctioneer. Can I get 750, 50, 750, 750? Can I get 750? We're 743, 743, 743. Let's get 750, 750. That's an auctioneer. Trolls are hot tonight. Of course they are. Who do you think, guys? Who do you think a random comment? I want you to think about this. A random comment that I made in the middle of a video, and all of a sudden YouTube finds it. Wasn't in the title, none of that type of stuff. And all of a sudden you find this random comment in the middle of the video. Maybe some troll reported that, don't you think? So it's just again, they're not going anywhere. They're still watching, so they're supporting the channel. So thank you, trolls, for all of your support. I appreciate that. He says, go get a real job. Well, you're helping to support me. So that's awesome. Yeah, working for yourself is a real job. You are right about that, Deborah. You are absolutely right about that. But I appreciate them watching. They're so funny. They really are. So we're 746. Four more, guys. We get four more, and then I'm going to jump off. All right. So we need four more thumbs up. So if you have not shot that thumbs up yet, let's do that. Three more away. We're at 747. Three more. Come on. 749. We need one more, guys. One more thumbs up. All right, there we are. 752. Awesome. That's cool. All right, guys, listen, I appreciate all the support. I really do. I appreciate everybody reaching out and asking. I tried to answer everybody that reached out to me and said, hey, what's going on? Why haven't you posted? I truly, truly am humbled by the support that you all give me. I really do. You guys are awesome. You're the best. And you're why I do what I do. So thank you all for that. I really do. I do mean that. It's really, really important. And it means a lot to me. It really does. So, thank you all. I mean, I know I'm consistent. I'm on here all the time. So, when I'm not here, a lot of you, hey, what's going on? Is everything okay? And unfortunately, I can comment on comments, but I can't post videos or live stream when you get a strike. So, but well, now we're up to 765. Look at that. It's crazy. So anyway, guys, listen, have a great night. I will see you all on Sunday. I hope you enjoy the videos that I have coming up for you over the next couple of days. And, definitely want your feedback on that. There's a couple things that are really interesting, I think. And definitely check all those things out. So what are we at? 768. Look at that. Blew right past that 750. That's wild. So, yeah, I did talk with Angry Prepper, and he let a lot of you guys know, that what was going on. So very, very awesome. So he's a good guy. Jason is awesome. I told him too. I said, Jason, man, you got to come to the Prepper get together that we're doing this next year. Next year, guys, in July, Prepper get together at Greg's property. So those of you that have already been there know exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to be doing it. I believe it's actually I will. I take too long to look it up, but it's like the 16th, 15th, 16th, and 17th of July next year. It is a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Everything will be at Greg's property. Yes, and let's go, Brandon. Let's not forget to say that because that is a good thing. So, and now we're up to 775. All right, I'm jumping off, guys. I will see you later. Have a great night. I appreciate you. I really do. And it's good to be back. All right. You're my family. You guys really are. You're part of my family. So I will see you all later. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now.